Well, guess what?
You got a puppy.
No. I'm still sick. Again. I'm sick again. And of that sickness, I am still.
You are down with the sickness.
Yeah, the sickness has me quite down. So I don't have much of a voice, like at all. So at times, this conversation is going to sound a little Carl heavy. That's just the way it is. It's just going to have to be what it is. But hello and welcome to the Movie Men Podcast.
The B Team.
Yeah. That's Carl.
This is Brady.
Yeah. And you can also
some Andor.
You can also refer to me as Death. That's feeling equally appropriate.
Do you feel like there's a way out for you in this?
What do you mean?
Well, for Andor, there was no way out.
That's fair.
Which was the name of the episode.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
I don't pay a lot of attention to the names, man. I just don't.
Well, speaking of paying attention, last episode
One Way Out. It was called One Way Out, doofus.
Was it One Way?
Yeah, see, you're full of shit. You're like,
I read it wrong then. I wrote it down wrong.
Yeah,
it's been a while since I watched it. We're 2 weeks since release of the episode? No, 1 week.
To be fair, if you flip the O and the N and then remove the E, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah. Anyway,
let's dive in, man.
You interrupted me. Speaking of attention to detail,
mm-hmm.
Last week we talked about the intro,
right?
And I noticed it was different. And
yeah,
I did go back.
I went back and checked.
I went back and checked. Did you go back and check?
I didn't go through them all. I
went through them all.
Okay, I watched the intro for episode 10, and then I went back and instantly watched the intro for episode 1 to see if I could tell a difference. And I couldn't, but maybe you could.
There is distinct difference between every episode's intro music. They add something, they take something away.
Really?
Yeah. Last week I thought maybe they were building to something.
Right.
But it's actually more they change the theme to suit the episode.
Okay.
Nobody's Listening, the episode 9, there's a lot of building machinery and stuff like that. And the intro's got a lot of kind of clanging, metally, drummy kind of sounds.
Right.
Like somebody's hammering metal on metal.
Right. Okay.
And then there's a few, yeah. So each episode, so the intro kind of is a, what's the word? Precursor to what's going to happen in the episode.
Does that seem cool to you, or does that seem like a shit ton of effort for something that isn't that cool?
I liked my idea last week that I thought it might have been, where they're adding one more element to the theme song to make it that much bigger. Like it's like the theme song is growing as the rebellion and its chances of winning are growing. But it does seem like a lot of work, I guess, but it's cool. I think it's pretty neat.
I think it's neat. I just don't know. I don't know that I would have caught it had not been for you. And so I don't know. My assumption is that most people aren't going to catch it.
And most people are just going to skip it.
Yeah.
There's that handy dandy skip intro button.
Yeah, something that your streaming service is literally encouraging you to miss anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's something neat. I thought it was really, really cool. For those that still have cable, they'll enjoy it, because apparently Andor is going to be showing up on cable services.
Right.
As a show.
I don't know why, but
I guess money.
Yeah. Get out your rabbit ears and see if you can tune in.
I think it's cool. Like Emily and I were watching a show recently that there's 3 episodes on Netflix. It's called Lock and Key. 3 seasons, sorry, not 3 episodes. And I don't like the show for different reasons. It's got a lot of potential, but I think the writing falls short. The acting's great. Some other aspects of it are pretty cool. But the writing just seems to be horrible. Like the show doesn't follow its own like it sets out rules for the way the world and these magic keys work, and sometimes it feels like it doesn't follow them, and people do stupid things that don't make any sense. It's just like infuriating. Anyway, my point is, the beginning of every episode in the intro, they show you a key, because the show's all about these magic keys. They show you a key that will play a pivotal role in the episode. And so it's kind of a similarity to what Andor is doing with the music.
Yeah, I've eyed that show up like 4 or 5 times whenever I'm
I wouldn't
skipping
recommend
through.
It.
Yeah, whenever I'm like skipping through looking for something like kind of fun or interesting. And it, like, on paper, it sounds pretty cool. But
the concept's really cool. Yeah.
You're saying it's a miss, though.
Atrocious, and the way the characters act is nonsensical and moronic, and the way they often kind of ignore some of their own world building rules is frustrating. I just end up ranting to Emily for like 20 minutes after the episode's over about how it sucked, but it could have been so much better. Like it could have been so good. Why does it suck? But anyway, we're talking about Andor. Yeah. So big Prison Break episode.
I'll say like a big Prison Break episode. And without skipping too far ahead, and a moment at or near the end that I feel like was super emotional for me, but I feel like the show just kind of like sort of brushed past it. And then I don't know if we're going to get any follow up to it or what's going on, but when Andy Serkis's character just kind of gets left on the platform because he can't swim.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting.
And Andor kind of gets swept off the platform. Like there's the opportunity there for some dialogue, and no, well, don't worry, just like hold on to me. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll help you to shore. Yeah, there's no time for conversation because of the mad rush of everyone else just jumping off.
Yeah, it gets caught up in the thing.
How does Andy not get caught up in that?
I don't know.
There was
King Kong.
It poses the question, right? Does he stay by choice? Does he stay on the prison and end up getting recaptured? Does he jump of his own will and drown trying to be free, or does he get pushed off the way Andor did, or like what happened to him? And that's a question I don't want them to answer. I don't want to see him again. I would rather let my imagination run wild in this situation.
Unless
because my imagination will make up a far better story than anything they can write.
Well, screw you. The writing in this show has been great. Unless he ends up playing a big role in something yet to come. Like, if they just explain it for the sake of trying to tie up a loose end, we don't need that loose end tied up.
I wouldn't even call it a loose end.
But no, but you know what I mean. Like, if they're trying to give closure to a situation, that's not a situation that needs closure. But if Andy Serkis, if his character plays some sort of big role to come, I mean, he's left there, and now he's quite outnumbered, and he's the only prisoner left. There's gonna be some interrogating. There's gonna be some, So I don't know. Unless he plays a big role in the show moving forward, then great, give us more. But if it's just like just so you know, he ended up back in a cell, or he, like whatever it is, then we don't need that.
Yeah. Yeah. There wasn't a whole lot of jumping around in this episode, which I really liked.
I know. I know.
Although they did do a jump, like the first scene was picked up right where the last episode left off. And then we did a quick jump to Miro and Lonnie talking about the trap, and Lonnie makes a suggestion about how to improve the trap, and then we jump back to the prison where they wake up. That's not as bad as what we've had, but I think I still would have just liked to stay at the prison or have a different scene in between there. I don't know. I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this episode could have been strictly like, this could have been a one storyline episode, and I think that would have worked just fine.
Yeah. I think the reason this one doesn't upset me as much is because Lonnie plays such a huge pivotal role at the end of this episode. Lonnie's the mustachioed ISB officer, for those that aren't following along as well.
Yeah, it's funny. This show has had this weird it's had this weird ability of like bringing different characters in and out of how pivotal they are and like their level of importance, right? Like, for a while, Cyril was super important, and then not really, and then he kind of seemed like he was, and now we haven't heard anything in a bit. But I'm guessing we're going to. I'm guessing we're not done with him though. Like he's you don't set all this up and then give him a promotion and then not deal with him again.
Yeah, but like you're saying, what was his name? Lieutenant Blevin, the other ISB officer who Miro in the beginning was kind of at odds with. He hasn't showed up in a few episodes. He's essentially, his role in the story is done essentially.
Yeah, I think so.
Miro has surpassed him, and he's inconsequential at this point.
Which kind of makes me happy because he was irritating.
Well, yeah, and I think bringing him back, like kind of writing him out the way they did, turns Miro into the antagonist she needs to be. If he sticks around and is an antagonist for Miro the way he was,
then we're still rooting for her.
Then we're continuing to root for Miro, and that's not what they want. They want us to they want us as the audience to turn on Miro, which we are. If you haven't already, I hope you have.
Yeah. No, I have.
She's become pretty vile. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. The other thing, like one of the other deviations that we did get this episode from Andor's storyline, is not only a return to proper Luthen, like without his wig and the sort of the character that he does, like a real, actual, the Luthen that we first met, but also kind of a return to allowing Stellan Skarsgård to really stretch his arms out a little bit, acting wise, and like this monologue that he does is like chilling.
It's amazing. We get two really good monologues. One from Andy Serkis rallying the prisoners, which is really cool because it starts out shaky because he doesn't really know what to do or what to say, and then it kind of builds and becomes a really powerful, motivating speech and monologue. And then that seemed really good. And then Skarsgård comes along and like, I can outdo you easy. That was nothing. Watch this.
Oh yeah. And just like,
that was so,
the whole build up, right? He's like, he lists
what have I sacrificed?
All of his sacrifices. Yeah, all of his sacrifices. He goes on a list.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, well, no. You're saying this backwards, dude.
Did he say that at the end?
That's the last thing he says.
Okay,
he starts listing all the stuff, and then he goes, "What is what am I sacrificing? Everything." Is how he ends his monologue, and it's just it's so powerful.
It speaks to his, like, the monologue speaks so much to who the character is too, right? Like,
oh yeah,
one of the lines that really hit me hard was he says, I'm forced to use the weapons of my enemies. Like he's forcing himself to do what his enemies would do.
Yeah.
And even though he knows that is completely wrong and a horrible thing, but he knows that if it's not done, then victory won't happen.
Yeah.
And he knows because of that, he's never going to see that victory. And like he's never going to get to see that sunrise. And
exactly. And he's fighting for something that he knows is going to he's planting a seed. He's igniting a spark.
Yeah.
But the fruits of his labor, the fruition of the rebellion is something that's going to come long past his time. And so he's fighting a thankless fight and sacrificing everything for it.
There was one other thing, like, after watching it struck me, and I just remembered just now where I heard it from, but this monologue is very similar to another monologue in cinema, like very similar. And I couldn't remember where it was, what it was from, but I just remembered.
Okay.
And I don't think you've seen the film, but I've seen it several times, and you and Pete have crapped on it a little bit. And
can I guess?
Give it some credit, but in the movie Serenity,
I can't.
The main antagonist at one point gives a very, very similar speech where he talks about, I'm a monster. I don't get to live in this world that I'm helping to create, but I need to be here to help create it. But it's a little different though, because the roles are reversed. He's the villain of the movie, whereas Skarsgård is our anti-hero. So
Star Wars is still better, but
I'm just saying. I think the writers may have stolen some of the inspiration from something else. That's and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing.
I mean, all of Star Wars is
what's that saying?
From
copying is the sincerest form of flattery.
Yeah, imitation.
So,
yeah.
And, I'm not upset about it. I think Luthen's monologue might be better. It's a little bit like just the way it's delivered by Skarsgård. I think it was definitely a better acting delivery.
Well, I mean, it's Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah. So but anyway, Yeah.
I don't have a beef with
it. I think both are great.
You could have put Stellan Skarsgård in Cats, and it still would have been a shit film, but none of the moments when Stellan Skarsgård dressed up as a CGI cat, none of those moments would have been bad moments. They still would have been Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's dive in. I want to dive into the Prison Break a bit.
All right. Yeah.
What did you think of the Prison Break?
I thought it was like, okay, so while it's starting and he's in there, and because we see in a previous episode, Cassian kind of, or whatever the hell his name is these days, he's in the bathroom and he's chipping away at something that we saw before. And we don't really know initially what it is. It could be like a gas pipe. It could be
the bathroom. Massive, it could be a water pipe, which it was.
Could be a water pipe.
Yeah, we don't know.
Could be a massive power line. We don't really know what the hell it is. But so then in this episode, obviously, we get the answer to that, right? Okay, they're going to flood the floor so that when they go to fry them, the water conducts, and then it shorts out the system. And while this is getting pieced together, and I'm figuring out like, okay, this is what is happening. I couldn't help but think to myself, well, that's a hell of a gamble, because you like, I don't know, you don't know that this is going to work. You don't even know that it's possible to short out this floor. B, if you do short it out, you don't know what all is going to be shorted out. C, they've got guns and you don't. Like, there was just so many things that I was like, okay, that's a huge leap. And even if it works out in your favor, there's like 6 more huge leaps in front of you this seems super unlikely. But then the more I thought about it, I feel like they kind of answered that in the episode, in that, they're talking about, he's like, the way I see it, I'm already dead.
Yeah.
And I'd rather, and I'm like, okay, yeah, like this is a long shot, but it's also like, what is the alternative? It's a long shot, but it's kind of the only shot. It's the one way out. And so it might not work. They know it might not work. They know it's a long shot, but if you're effed if you do and effed if you don't, take the one that's got a 0.1% chance of freedom, I guess.
Yeah. And they know they have a chance because there's only 12 guards. And they've planned it out enough that it's a numbers game, right? They have the numbers. They just need to get on the catwalk, and it's essentially game over. And that's what happens, right? It's almost like a crack in the dam, right? The crack in the dam, just a little bit of water gets out. You got a couple people on the ramp, a little bit of water seeping through, but then a couple more people get on the ramp, and the crack grows and grows and grows, and eventually the dam breaks, and it's just the guards hiding in the broom closet. Yeah. Shh, be quiet. They might hear us. Yeah. Shut up.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So I take some of that back. Like, I mean, no, I guess, but I guess what I said is like, or what I meant to say really is that the biggest leap for me, the biggest like uncertainty was whether or not that thing was going to short out the floor. And so I was literally just, as this is happening and I'm like realizing what the plan is, I'm just like, okay, guys, I hope that works. Cause yeah, if it does, then you're golden. If it doesn't, you're hyper screwed. Like, it all hinged on that big maybe. Because they wouldn't because it's not just like, oh, okay, it didn't work and now we're still imprisoned. They all would have been executed. Like that's
I got to imagine. I hear you, but at the same time, there's enough people on that floor that somebody's got to have some technical know-how that they look at how the floor works and know how electricity works and can make that kind of educated guess that the water will find its way into the electrical works and short it all out.
Yeah.
Like this is a universe where fixing a spaceship is just like fixing a sports car nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately there was no guarantees. Like,
there's no guarantee, but there was
probably a guy
I think it's
there.
A strong, educated guess.
Yeah, there was probably a guy there that knew enough that was able to say there's a moderately good chance that this will work. But yeah, ultimately it was like whether it will do it in time, whether, and again, like I said, knowing how much of the power it was going to kill and if it would kill it permanently or if there was backup power or having not had access to the building schematics and knowing how this thing's set up, it was just a big friggin' gamble.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta these guards though, they're definitely not clone troopers. How do those two guards on the catwalk not easily take all those people out?
I was kind of like, yeah.
Even with crap being thrown at you, you got to be a pretty crap aim. You're like literally shooting fish in a barrel.
I also wonder about how Cassian takes the first guy down, right? He just kind of he downs him by just kind of swinging his leg at the other guy's ankles. And I'm like,
how's the other guy on the other side not see him and shoot him?
Well,
there's a little that I think that section right there, like getting onto the catwalk, there was a little bit of suspension of disbelief. Like Cassian should have went down like the other two guys did, the new captive and his buddy who but I mean climb.
Even without that, I was just kind of like, you're kind of dangling at a funny angle, and like I just kind of wondered. I wasn't sure how much I bought the fact that while hanging underneath, Cassian would have enough of a grip on that railing to get enough momentum swinging with his leg to be able to take both of this guy's legs out from underneath him.
Yeah. No, I that's a little odd.
Yeah.
Not enough to ruin the episode, but it's there's
no.
A leap in suspension of disbelief there.
Yeah. Let's talk about another amazing moment. Just like from an acting standpoint and just like the amount of emotion and sort of the things that are being said without saying them when Andy Serkis is having his moment where he's addressing everyone through the intercom.
Yeah.
And he's nervous and he's scared and he doesn't, but you kind of see him gain that confidence as he's doing it. Yeah. And I was just so powerful. So good.
There's he only said it once as a callback to Nemec, but he said like climb, and Nemec in the heist episode, in the money heist episode, it's like climb, like because they're climbing to their freedom, and so Serkis says it once, and I'm so glad they didn't just like repeat and have Andy Serkis yelling that over and over again.
Over and over.
Instead, they gave him a different phrase, which I didn't write down. Do you remember what it was?
He says
like,
attack
fight for your
a lot.
Freedom and then it just became like the rallying chant for everybody in the prison.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I can't remember what it was. I should have wrote it down. Oh well.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and I agree.
Yeah.
What else? Is there anything else?
We get a short scene with Mon Mothma hanging out with her new gangster friend.
Oh yeah,
Davo.
this is big. This is
a really cool scene because
the betrothal.
They're having a conversation, but they're actually talking about something completely different in their conversation. There's like, the conversation is 100% double speak,
right?
Which is really cool.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of like, I don't know. It was a really cool scene. I don't know how else to say it, but I really thought it was cool.
It was cool because like Mon Mothma is cold in this scene.
Yeah.
Like,
and she's so cornered. She's a cornered rat.
And this guy's basically like she's kind of going along with this necessary evil up until his terms are, I want to bring my son to meet your daughter. Not
marry.
Well, but he doesn't say that. He says, I'd like to bring her along.
It's they kind of it's assumed.
Oh, for sure.
Because Mothma married at 15. Her daughter's about that age. They talk
and the guy's denying it.
They talk about the traditions of the planet being that's the tradition. And that's the whole like he's a gangster with a lot of money, but he doesn't have any social standing.
Sway.
He has social standing, but not
legitimate.
Clean,
yeah.
Legitimate social standing.
Yeah.
And having his son marry into a legitimate family gives him what he really wants.
He is denying it, though. He says, like, this is not a betrothal; it's an introduction. But Mon Mothma sees right through that, and she says, "No." Yeah. She says, "There's the door. He'll see you out." And the guy's like, "No, I get it. You need time to think about it." And she's like, "I'm not thinking about it." Like, that was a great line. Just this, like, oh no, don't be mistaken. My answer is a hard no.
Yeah, but his response to that is even better. She's like, I'm not even thinking about it. And he goes, yeah, that's the first lie you've said all night.
Which is funny because it's totally not.
It is.
No, it's not.
She's totally thinking about it.
Right, but it's not the first lie that she's told.
How is it not?
Because she's talking about setting up a charitable organization. She said that they have a foundation, that the money is for a
that's all just the double speak, though. She's saying charitable foundation, but she's he knows what she's doing.
Oh, I highly doubt that.
Oh yeah, he knows she's funneling money to I don't think he knows the empire, but he knows she's illegally funneling money, or else she wouldn't be coming to him in the first place.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right.
Right. Like she's, I can't remember who said it. I wrote it down here, but one of them says she's looking for a more fluid banking opportunity.
Yeah. How confident are you? I'm over 50% that like she's gonna have to go through with this.
Well, because they've spent too much Friday after episode 11's already come out, and I've seen episode 11. So
okay, all right. So don't answer. But because for me, I've intentionally not watched it yet.
Yeah,
And for me, my thoughts are, well, they've spent too much time and effort setting up and establishing the fact that without this deal, she's totally boned.
Yeah.
And so, and then this whole little sort of jab at the end of like, you know, she's thinking about it. I don't see how at this point, this late in the season, I don't see them setting up, and maybe they will, but I don't see them setting up additional options, other routes to take.
Yeah.
I think this is an interesting conflict.
The narrative is heading that way.
Yeah, this is a fun social conflict as opposed to like an actual physical conflict. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I think they'd be foolish not to pursue this, but.
Yeah, it was a really cool scene.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
What else are we missing? Anything?
I think that, other than, finding out that I think the last thing is finding out Lonnie is actually a double agent for Luthen.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool turn.
And wants out.
And he wants out, and Luthen won't let him.
But Luthen
gives him good reason to stay. And I don't know if good reason, but
he essentially kind of it's kind of like forcing. There's a little bit, but not really, kind of like blackmail that happens.
I think there's a little bit of convincing from the monologue. But basically just like, I think ultimately what Luthen tries to do is suck the confidence out of him, right? You can't leave. You have no choice. You're in too deep.
You're in too deep. It's not going to work. Even as you're saying this, they're not just going to
let you leave.
Yeah, even as you're saying this, you realize it's not going to work. So he's playing mind games a little bit, because he needs this guy right where he is. And as we've seen, Luthen is not so much a people person. People are tools. They are necessities to get jobs done. And it's going to be very expensive, very complicated, and maybe not possible to replace this guy. And so, so I think he's playing mind games a little bit in order to suck the confidence out of this guy's plan and make him basically feel like staying is his own idea, because he realizes whether he has to stay.
Yeah. And Luthen really, really does need him, because he gives Luthen valuable intel.
Eyes and ears.
Like that's the reason for that's the other reason for the meetup, was to give Luthen the intel about the trap that the ISB is setting for this rebel cell.
Yeah, man. Eyes and ears. Eyes and ears. All right. The ultimate question that we both already know each other's answers to, but was this episode a win or fail for you?
Definitely a win. Second best episode of the series so far. I still think the heist was better. But this is a close second.
Okay.
Some great monologues from two great actors.
Mm-hmm.
Very little jumping around scene wise. It was awesome.
Uh-huh.
And yourself?
I love how much you hate that. The jumping around thing.
It really bothers me.
It's exactly how every other show with multiple storylines, Lord of the Rings. Okay, well, let's go check in with these people. Other Star Wars movies. Let's go check in with these people.
Not to the extent that this show is doing it.
I don't know.
You don't get a jump to another character for a 10-second scene and then back to the scene you just left. I will give you a carton of eggnog if you can go in and find an actual example. I won't even say 10 seconds, because I know you said that facetiously. You can find an example. Last episode had one.
10 seconds? Actually
10 seconds or less. Last episode, there was a scene in the prison with Andor, and we jumped to Pharaoh to see Bix cowering in a corner for 10 seconds or less, and then we jumped back to the prison.
Okay.
And it could have just been one scene if you cut Bix out.
Are you willing to put a carton of eggnog on this?
Hell yeah.
Like the good shit, like the glass bottle stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
I guarantee you that it did it.
Send me the episode and the timestamp.
I will.
So that I can go check.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. And then if you watch it, when you watch it, look at it through the lens of what would this have looked like if
I'm
the
looking
big
at
scene wasn't even there.
I'm looking at the needle counter and seeing if it's 11 seconds or more. Because if it's 11 seconds or more, I'm going to be sucking back some sweet, sweet nog. Sweet nog.
I'm confident that you won't be drinking anything.
This episode was was a big win for me. I would say it's maybe my favorite episode. Your favorite episode, which is the heist, is my third favorite. But I think this one is my first now.
What's your second then?
The first episode when Cassian arrives at the prison. Yeah, I just liked. That was good. I liked the way they established how it works and all this stuff.
Yeah, and the fear was kind of palpable on Andor's face, even though he was taking everything in and processing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because like he said, and it's just so funny because he is literally innocent of what they've charged him with.
But guilty of so much more.
He's guilty of so much more, but he's literally not like he was kind of just a tourist. Like, I mean, he was more refugee than he was tourist, but yeah, it's just so funny. Like he doesn't actually even, for whatever, and we don't even ever actually find out what it was. He was just like, some guy was running away from having done something and he was standing in the wrong spot. Yeah. Gosh. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for, I'm about to cough. Hang on. No, I got it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking, commenting, all of those things. Check out our social media down below, our Facebook, Instagram, and the dark domain of Elon Musk, our Twitter page. Our Patreon is a nice little way to pay the bills. It's winter time. Need an extra lump of coal for the fire. Help us out. And merch is another sweet way to help us out and to look badass this holiday season.
Or by your special someone a wicked Christmas present.
Yeah, man. Stocking stuffers galore. A nice movie man toque or beanie if you live outside of the continental Canada. That's not it. Nobody says that. Continental Canada from now on. That's the name of my next podcast. It'll be about, I don't know, maple syrup and waffle fries, which I don't even think it's not even a Canadian thing, but who doesn't love some good waffle fries?